48th and and the performance of students because of squandering all the money that could have been used on keeping the California higher education system and schools at the level they used to be. But no, we had an attack of greed. The Reaganites and privatization that emptied out the mental hospitals. And guess where they went? We didn't have any homeless before the Clinton-Bush era. We didn't know what homelessness was since the 1930s. And now we have it, starting with Reagan and his ascent here in California in the 1970s, and then his takeover of Washington, which then concreted this giant schism between the haves and the have-nots, and created a really bad example of saying, oh, government isn't responsible for that anymore, we're just bugging out. But we're not going to call it bugging out, we're going to call it privatizing. And the institutions we used to have don't exist anymore. They're just more or less facades and shells that are empty. We don't have the infrastructure we once had in the mental health area or in the health area. And this is where managed care comes in. So this is where the corporate idea of privatization and attenuation of responsibility came from.
Have you been active in medical politics as such? I mean, of course, I know. I mean, I mean the politics of policies other than, I mean, what you're talking about right now.
Trying to do what little I could within whatever hospital I belonged to, and carrying resolutions to medical association, things like that.
I mean, you know, and it's a very interesting that you have many views on many different things, and I think for some people, some of the things you say might be unsettling, and it's a definite contrast to what's on the news, or what's generally on the system, the machine, so to speak. So you definitely offer a contrast.
Well, I'm addicted to information. I'm a habitual TV watcher, and I've just recently gotten access to C-SPAN and CNN, and get up early in the morning and sometimes get a call into some of the C-SPAN dialogues. Have a real contrast of personages that I really appreciate. They really do a good service. Expose the range of people with their ideas. Like this morning, Molly Ivins. Half hour with Molly Ivins was really wonderful.
A writer from
yes.
Texas?
Yes.
Oh boy, she's great fun.
And so she was on and calling people. It's kind of like the Rush Limbaugh show with people with brains. People that are not decerebrate, like call into hate radio. We have some really retrograde media. But
I mean, are you saying that there's an alternative to this, or that you would like to offer an alternative to this?
No, I enjoy the C-SPAN parade of different personages they have on for the call-in show.
Okay, I haven't even seen it.
The Journal. It's, they have a line for Republicans, one for Democrats, and one for independents or others. And they ask very penetrating questions of the people on board, like a reporter who was in Afghanistan on the ground, avoiding all contacts with Americans and the military, and just getting direct information about the people she was with, who came from a wonderful background of journalism and sociology, and from several colleges, masters in fine arts and photography, and just a wonderful, evolved person, and brave to go into some situation like this. And then contrast this with an editor in his early 30s from the National Review, who is just a total intra-beltway media wonk. All the gossip that just totally fatuous, and as compared with this in-depth, real mensch of a person. But seeing something besides the bland parade of sound bites.
Good. And so you call into the show sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. Well, sooner or later I'll catch the show, I hope, and see you on there. One thing is I just realized that I've actually been keeping you from dinner, and I'm wondering if we should take a break. And
I've got to get a split. It's getting towards my bedtime.
Okay. Any last word?
There is no last word. It's a continuing epic. It's a continuing adventure. Never can tell. I'm really the same person, but everything around me keeps changing. I don't know what to expect. It's not boring. It's exciting because I really feel that I'm part of history and helping to make it, and that so much of the training and things that I've had in the past are now coming into significance, and I'm happier now than I think I've ever been.
Really?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Because I'm seeing fruits of efforts starting to ripen.
I felt like that you were more persecuted than ever, and that the world is on the brink of disaster.
Yeah, that's true. But it's high adventure. I mean, it's really very much like an epic. It's sort of like Beowulf or something like the Odyssey, of going from one adventure to another, from one dragon's lair to another area of of challenges that I feel up to. I feel that I've learned sufficiently as to how things work that maybe I'll stay out of captivity for a while, and maybe I'll be able to be in practice a few years longer and see some of the ideas that I have come to even more fruition. For example, I want to do at-home biomonitoring of comparative efficacy of different preparations.